The very familiar and poignant voice of George Floyd we still hear. If not in our hearts, it is truly in our ears all the time. I can't breathe. This phrase continues to echo from the summer of 2020 to this very moment. There are so many people who are not numbered with the white race here in the USA who experience profound injustice, discrimination, ostracism, and hatred. They cry out, "I can't breathe." The weight of these realities is so heavy that it is choking the flow of oxygen not only from their lungs, but from their and our human dignity, from their and our aspirations toward hope, and from our and their mutual constitutional pursuit of human happiness. This past year, we have witnessed a worldwide pandemic taking hold of us, in untold loneliness, sickness, and death, especially among the vulnerable elderly, crushing their respiratory capacity to breathe freely, especially as COVID-19 has given us the horror of those crying out in hospitals and nursing homes over and over again, "I can't breathe," followed by the sorrowful anguish of many, many doctors and nurses who often feel powerless to fulfill their Hippocratic oath to save and to preserve life. These sufferings are crushing the human spirit. In addition, we also have witnessed the House and Senate, the two lungs of our government, almost collapse in an insurrection we never thought possible in America. Our democracy is not breathing properly. It is gasping for the fresh air of integrity, truth, compassion, and loving kindness. The lungs of our government are in need of a powerful new respirator. There are many Americans who are determined to destroy the broken and yet strongest democracy in the world. There are also many Americans who want unity, cooperation, collaboration, and want to uphold the constitutions and the freedoms of our land, fought for us by the blood of thousands and thousands of young people who sacrificed their lives to protect these freedoms. As we prepare for the upcoming Lenten season, my brothers and sisters, let us hear the inviting words of St. John Chrysostom, who wrote, "To support one another in the things of spirit is a true sign of goodwill, of loving kinship, and sincere affection." These words and many other powerful words of spirit and life are made present to us in the season of Lent. Let us hear the cry to reform our lives, even without tracing ashes upon our foreheads. Turn away from sin and believe in the good news. Let us adhere to the writing of the psalmist. If today you hear God's voice, harden not your hearts. Let us listen to the words of the prophet Amos. Do justly, love tenderly, and walk humbly with your God. These are ordinary words with extraordinary power. These are words of spirit and life, enabling us to discover that we can breathe again and breathe deeply so that our lungs are full of life-giving oxygen, enabling us to say in the paraphrased words of the prophet Isaiah, "I have come to set the captives free. I have come to make the blind see, the deaf hear, and the lame walk. I have come to bring the good news and announce God's favor for every person made in God's image. This Lent is unlike any other. Let us remember the compassionate levels, the lessons of COVID, and the deeply wounded but sustaining power of democracy. Let our Lenten penance be to support and empower each other to say, I must breathe love for my neighbor. I must freely inhale and protect the abundant life that God breathes into each living soul. And in the spirit of St. Francis of Assisi, may God give us all his peace.